If you've been preparing for academic task 1 of the IELTS exam, perhaps you're guilty of some actions that will cause you to drop a band or two when you hit test day. Let's look at 6 mistakes we need to avoid on episode 52 of Hacking IELTS.
Let's do this.
Hey guys, in this episode, let's slide into task 1 writing mode and discuss some tips that will help you with your IELTS writing. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm Chris, and this is a YouTube channel and a podcast dedicated to helping new and intermediate IELTS test takers understand the exam and attain higher results. Okay, as mentioned earlier, many of us are guilty of making some mistakes when we first get started with task 1 academic writing. And it's completely normal. Don't freak out because we don't know what we don't know. Let's take a look at our first issue. Mistake number 1. Are you copying the title in your response? This is not going to be counted for your total of 150 words for this task. Remember that anytime you copy a title or information from the prompt, you are doing what's called in IELTS language, lifting. Keep the lifting in the gym and make sure you paraphrase the title or any information in the prompt. Prompt? What's a prompt? Remember this term? It's just another way of saying the question topic. Once again, avoid lifting so you don't drop a band. Moving on to another no-no, listing. Keep your lists for getting groceries or things to do, as listing for this task will only give you problems. What some test takers who are new to writing about diagrams do is they attempt to cover every single detail, date, percentage, increase, decrease, fluctuation, and any other detail seen. Look, first of all, we don't have time to cover all of these minor details. Second, we need to only write about the main trends, the stuff that sticks out to anyone who has a good look at the diagram. For example, if you're given a line graph, you may see a huge spike on a line, which means a dramatic increase for that particular data. Or maybe you have 2 pie charts showing the same type of data, but different time periods. Let's say we have 2 pie charts comparing the consumption of various foods in a country. One chart shows foods in 2000, while the other shows foods in 2020. If one of the slices indicates fast food, for example, we could compare the data from each time period if it's really striking or interesting. What if the first slice for fast food displayed 20%, while the second slice indicated 70%? We see that fast food consumption increased by 250% over 20 years. Should we comment that people are getting fatter nowadays, that it's probably due to KFC's amazing fried chicken, and that people are under much more stress in 2020? Definitely not, which leads to our next double punch mistake. Mistakes 3 and 4. Never provide your own opinion or attempt to explain why for task 1. Do you need to provide your opinion for IELTS writing? Absolutely, just not for task 1. Let's bottle this up for now and then unleash the giant in task 2. Look, it's critical that we only provide facts for task 1 and try to see yourself as a data expert or even a detective, revealing only the most vital and critical information. We need to be careful of trying to explain or provide our feelings on the information we see for this task. Just be a cold, heartless robot and crunch the data you're presented. Let's move on to mistake number 5. First, let me ask you an important question. Do you know how to construct a basic essay? You know, introductory paragraph, body, and then that other thing. What's that other thing called again? Oh yeah, a concluding paragraph. Thanks for reminding me. Well, you'll naturally want to provide a conclusion since you've been writing this way perhaps for a couple years already. And this is a common mistake since we're not writing an essay so much as we're writing a report for task 1. I know it's a bit confusing, but we only need to have 3 paragraphs for this task. We can write a concluding sentence, but don't write an entire concluding paragraph. All right, one last mistake we need to cover, and it's really important, guys. We need to have an overview. If you recall, an overview is just a basic explanation of the diagram you're given. If you don't have one, you're going to have a problem. And if you put the overview somewhere in the middle of your writing, you're going to have a problem. Mistake number 6 is having no overview or putting it in the middle of your response. Now, you could put your overview at the beginning or the end of the task, which will be accepted. I'd suggest having an overview right at the beginning of our writing, just so it's obvious, it's done, and then we don't have to worry about it. There you have it, 6 mistakes we need to avoid for Task 1 academic writing. Okay guys, this wraps up things for this week. Did this episode help you out? Let me know by giving it a like on YouTube and hit subscribe. See links to our courses in the description for this week's show. Or if you're on the go, you can get the same content in our podcast. Take care, guys, and catch you in the next one.